Hey guys, Liam from Rolfing in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome and thanks for watching my videos. Please remember, subscription is always welcome. Just down here, I believe, might be up there, but anyway, I think it's over there. I'm a rolfer. I've been practicing in Melbourne now for just over 2 years, and yeah, these videos are mostly just to kind of help inform some people. There's some simple things we can do to help reduce our chances of getting injured, and I think also just to live a happier, more fulfilling life, if you will. If we can move well, then I think everything becomes easier. So today's exercise is a really common issue that I come up against. So many of us are now sitting a lot more than we ever used to be. So when we're sitting, our quad muscles and our hip flexor muscles, so the muscles that allow us to extend through this area, tend to be shortened in a sitting position. So and then when we go to get up from that sitting position, we tend to be pulled forward by those shortened hip flexor muscles. So they can be across the front of the quads, psoas or hip flexors, even the abdominal muscles, just the fascia that runs across the front, the anterior part of the body becomes shortened. So what we need to do is lengthen that, try and keep that in a nice, we're always encouraging it to be short, but we need to also make sure we encourage it to be long. Now standing is obviously the easiest way. Walking is another one, because as we stand upright and we walk, when our back leg goes back, we tend to extend through the back leg, and that really stretches that whole area. So yes, walking is fantastic. But there's another one that I think is really fantastic that's a little bit easier to do. Not easier to do, but it also works on some other areas of the body, and that's walking on our knees. So what we need to do is we need to get down onto our knees. That's the first thing. So a lot of people are going to find this position difficult. So what we're doing now is we're lengthening, we're not only in a position of extension through our hips, but we're also now flexing our knee. So we're in a position where we're lengthening these quad muscles. And then which is a really great position to be in. So even just this alone, arms by our sides, I should say, sorry, by our sides, just relaxing in that position. It's also fantastic for the knee, the way the tibia and the femur match up. It's a really great position to have our knees. I think I'm going to start again. Hey guys, Liam from Rolfing here. How are you doing in Melbourne, Australia? Thanks for watching my videos. Please remember to subscribe if you want to. It's up to you. There's going to be loads of videos on how to be healthy, how to be well, how to enjoy your body and get the most out of it. We're all blessed with this fantastic piece of machinery, but I think some of us neglect it a little bit. I was definitely guilty of that in the past. And I'm still on the mend, if you will, for want of a better term. But we've got so much potential within this system, and I think sometimes we let that go a little bit. So today I want to talk about a really common problem, which is we sit too much. Whether it be at the office, on the computer, watching the television upstairs at the end of the day. What sitting does, it tends to shorten the front of our body. So if you see, I'm kind of emulating a sitting position here, but this joint here is shortened when these muscles are all shortened when I'm in this position. And then when I go to extend back out again, what tends to happen is those shortened muscles will pull you forward. If any of you have been on a long road, a long drive somewhere, and you go to get out of the car for a petrol stop, whatever stop, food stop, you'll find it's really difficult sometimes to stand up straight. And that's it's their fascia, it's your quads, it's your hip flexors, all of the anterior muscles that do the flexion of the leg. They've shortened, they've gotten used to being in that nice short position, and they don't really want to be long anymore. They're like, screw this, I'm not really happy about that. So I think what we can do to try and mitigate that a little bit is to try and introduce some movements where we are reminding those anterior muscles and fascia that we need them to be nice and long. So the exercise I've got for you today is walking on your knees. I know that sounds crazy, but if we get down into a walking onto our knees position, so I'm going to show you side on. This is almost the opposite of sitting in a sense. So in sitting, we're at this position and we're shortening. When we come down to this position, what we're doing is we're extending through, or we're neutral with our hips, they're an extension, but our knee is also in flexion. So what that's doing is it's shortening this distance between here and here. It's putting tension onto that section, so it's asking more of our system. And then what happens is when we walk on our knees, we have to go back. So you notice this leg has to go backwards. So this angle is now no longer here, it's now here. So we're expanding that angle even more. We're asking that myo-fascial tissue across the front here to lengthen. Yeah? Okay, so it's a bit silly, but forward, backwards, left and right, it's really fantastic. So what I want you to do is, if you've got a mat or a piece of carpet, just imagine yourself a little rectangle. I want you to walk forward, nice and relaxed, just let your arms do whatever they do. Then I want you to go sideways, so I'm moving to my right, then I'm going to move back. I want you to stay nice and tall through the upper part of your body if you can. So imagine you're looking off towards the horizon and then forward. So I just moved to the left and now I'm moving forward. And you can also, I mean obviously I went backwards, but you can change the direction. So I'm now going backwards on this side. I'm going to move to the right and then I'm going to move forward. So again, nice and solid at the top. We're asking a lot of this bottom section. So from our underneath our rib cage downwards is getting a nice workout. Okay, that's the exercise for today. Try and do it. I would probably suggest maybe at night time's a really great time to do it because you've been seated for the day, you've built in some tensions within the system during the day, and you can release some of those tensions at night time by doing exercise. So enjoy, please check out some of my other videos and remember to subscribe. Signing out, Liam from Rolfing in Melbourne, Australia.